Hi everyone, and so it's Tuesday and I'm getting this message, okay, and it's going to be another specific message for someone, and I kind of feel like it's connected to the Sunday reading, but I'm not entirely sure. Like maybe you could just relate to the Sunday reading, because it feels like someone that's not, I don't know if you're subscribed to me or not, but it just feels like you're watching and you don't really know how to feel. You don't really know how to feel because it's this feeling like you connected with a video, whether it was like my video or someone else's video, or you're just like interested, you find yourself being interested in this kind of stuff, right? This spiritual stuff, and yet it's not something that you would prior to this or recently been interested in. And so it's kind of catching you off guard because it's just making you feel confused. It's like this feeling like you're like agnostic, or it's like trust the science, and yet science is discovery in itself, is taking, it's exploring. And so you're recognizing that rigidness, right? That rigidity, is that what it's called? To your approach to your spiritual thoughts and beliefs, because you are rejecting God, or you're rejecting like that deeper kind of part of beyond, because it feels like you do explore, like you think about that kind of stuff, or you believe in certain kind of things with regards to things beyond this world, or the greater whole of everything. But when it comes to religion or spirituality, there's like a stoppage to that. And so it feels like you had some sort of dream. It's a dream that it feels really intense, like an intense dream where things felt gentle, things felt soft, things felt safe, you felt understood, and you feel drawn to community, like you're finding yourself, so that's a dream, and you're finding yourself drawn to community that you didn't quite, it feels intimidating. It's like you prefer to be unseen. You prefer to not be known, as far as like the depths of you. And so at your core, that's what's going on. I think on the surface, you kind of say, well, that's not really for me. I don't agree or believe in that. It's not that you don't agree with it. It's just, you just have your kind of believe that you're set in your ways, but then you're finding yourself just kind of naturally wanting to know, or like naturally, it's like prayer, like you start naturally wanting to pray, or catch yourself, you're like, that's not like me, why am I doing that? Or you're watching these types of videos, or seeing people out in public that like essentially feel like sirens. It's like, come to us, like, oh, we're here, we won't harm you, jump in, the water is warm. It's like you actually want to jump in. You're like, is it really warm, or is this a dangerous kind of thing? And so it's this feeling. It's not necessarily threatening, it's just threatening to the way that you've always been. So it's threatening to this learned behavior that you have, this rigid behavior, this rigid belief system that you have. And in fact, what this is doing is it's leveling you up. You're finding your soul family, you're connecting to your soul family, and even saying that would be kind of foreign to you, because you would say, well, I never really knew, but what is that? Or even if you know what it is, it's like, I believe in that, I don't agree with that, like that's airy fairy type of stuff. And so again, they're showing me like that you can connect it to like church, right? And how at church there could be people who look at the Bible interpretively, or other groups that look at it more literally, other groups that are just attending church because that's what generations of people have been doing. But you're all there on a common ground. And in my ideal mind of this scenario, everyone just accepts everyone for who they are and their nuances, and yet they all have, you know, a core reason for being there. And so that's kind of what I'm seeing here is you finding like your soul family, you leveling up to this, you know, being available and open to this community of people who accept you for the differences in what you believe and allow you to kind of love yourself because you feel more safe. You don't feel like you're putting a mask on with these people. They see you fully anyway. And so that allows you to really see yourself for who you are, not hide yourself, conceal yourself, and then thus love yourself in a way that you haven't really felt safe in the world to do. I'm also seeing that what's also very enticing about this kind of thing is that it doesn't feel forced on you. You don't like things being imposed on you. That's why you were repelled to begin with, is because you had that idea that this is something that was imposed on you. You know, religion was imposed on you. The theory of God is imposed on you. The theory of all these other things is like forced. They're forceful. And yet having an approach where you feel is saying, well, listen, like, you do what you want, then that is that seductive quality of like, okay, you know what? Why are you not forcing me? You know, it's like, what do you know? What's going on here? You know, it makes you want to kind of peek in and explore a little bit. And they're showing me you as a seed, like underground, a seed underground. And that leveling up is you allowing yourself to grow. Because it's going to be very painful. It's like this concentration on you breaking the surface. So if you keep, if you resist, if you keep resisting beyond what you truly want, it's going to be very painful to your heart. It's going to be very frustrating and anxiety inducing because you're going against what you internally want to do. And so by doing so, it would be like if you're concentrating as a seedling, concentrating on breaking the surface and how painful that's going to be. Now, if you accepted it and you just kind of went with the flow, then you would be able to identify yourself as not just this seedling bursting through the soil, but the eventual flower. So you see yourself as the greater whole. You see yourself as a bigger part of this. You see yourself as being beyond just what you identify with currently. You allow yourself to grow and change because you're not necessarily changing yourself, right? Like you're not changing who you are. You're just evolving, right? And so seeing yourself as that flower and thus the seeds that disperse, so you're allowing yourself because you're giving yourself free will, because you're recognizing that you keeping yourself constricted to whatever belief system you had is actually the same thing of what you tried to resist. So it's like if you resisted religion or that kind of thing, then you are landlocking yourself into this rigid belief system of saying, I don't agree, I don't believe, no. Not allowing yourself to stretch beyond that and to say, I have the free will to think whatever I want. I have the free will to explore what I want. I have the free will to decide what I believe in and go back and forth and whatever until I find my way. Like, this is my journey alone. This is my life alone. I can do that. You're not setting restrictions on yourself. and your growth and your identity. Okay. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but I think that that's also what makes you feel extra crazy about this, because I feel like you feel kind of crazy, is because you watched a video or you were around people or something. I think it feels like a video. That's kind of the example I'm getting, is like you watched a video or you watched Sunday's video and it's like, whoa, that really resonates with me. And now I feel extra crazy because I'm watching someone on the internet and now I believe it. Like, it makes it even more frustrating. And then you have some sort of like intense dream or something, or you had an intense dream and it's all connecting and you're just like, what is going on here? That kind of thing. Okay, so I'm gonna pull a card because I want to. Okay. Goblins reversed, 5 reversed, and so it's that release of the goblins. It's the goblins that haunt your mind, the goblins that try and restrict you, the goblins that come out and disturb you, and it's this lower level thinking, these fears, these stresses, this low vibe. you're allowing yourself to see the light. You're allowing yourself to explore, right? You're turning into a gnome instead of a goblin. And you kind of like it. You kind of like it. It's this feeling of like, who am I? Magic prayer, storm fields, and rescue. The biggest message I'm getting here, it's not necessarily a warning, you know, it's not like, okay, well, you should be aware because, you know, something might happen, you know, you might come up with some negative experiences or whatever because you keep resisting this, you know, this is your way out, this is your rescue. I'm not seeing it like that. I'm mostly seeing it in the sense that this is your free will. Again, this is your choice. This is what you want to do with this. It's really up to you. Like, you can look at this as an opportunity to expand, or you can look at this as an opportunity to restrict by going back into your old ways or staying restricted in your thinking, right? And discounting your prayers, discounting your desire to pray, discounting your dreams, discounting I'm just seeing like the polarity, right? Like the good that can come out of the bad, and how the equanimity in it. I'm seeing this turn to 7, 8. It's 18, but they're subtracting to 7. And there's a significance to the number 7 and how basically they're saying, like your guardian angels are saying that you can take your time. Like, this isn't a message to force you, once again, you know, and it's not a message to like trick you into thinking that, you know, oh yeah, you know, you'll be more enticed because you have free will. So we're going to relay a message that, once again, you can do whatever you want to kind of trick you into something, right? Trick you into kind of, again, prayer, that kind of thing. It's not that. It's just it's a sincere saying, you know, you can look at this however way you want. You can identify it and put labels on it in any way that you want. That's up to you. That doesn't change what it is. It doesn't change the truth of what it is. It just changes the way that you perceive it. And so however long that you want to take for you to resist growth or resist your soul family is up to you. It's you determining when you're ready, right? Because again, a spirit's not going to force you into something that you're not ready for or you don't feel you're ready for. The only time that experiences happen where you felt that you were unprepared for has a deeper meaning to it, right? Spirit will never walk you through something that you're not capable of understanding or you're not capable of pushing through, right? And so it's this feeling of like, when you determine that you're ready, then you'll, like, I don't know, because I'm getting this image of like professors or something, I don't know, just like people, like professionals in some sort of particular field, and then you feeling like I have value, I have something I can contribute to this, but they're not going to push you. They're like, well, if you tell us that you don't, or you're like always like lingering outside the building, like we're not going to bother, you know, like we're not going to go out there and force ourselves to invite you in here and have some, you know, crackers and tea. Like we're not going to do that. And so you have to make your announcement into the building. You have to decide that you want to walk in and you want to be a part of it. And from there, they're not going to resent you for just popping up out of nowhere. They're going to be excited to be there, but it's your attitude as far as like how receptive people will be, right? You have to kind of come in there also with an equal respect so that you can receive that respect back. It's not about like being like coming from different perspectives or not sharing the exact same beliefs. It's about respecting that you have different beliefs, but that you equally can be open to where each other's coming from. Like you're finding this new group of people. You're finding like this more people that you feel more in alignment with now than you had been previously. That I feel at some point you had harshly judged or just didn't feel like they had anything in that interests you. I have no idea. Something like that. Okay, I'll pull one more. Yeah, who or what is triggering you and align your life. Yeah, and have you answered your deepest calling? Write a passage, crossing the threshold. What is not aligned or needs to change? So, I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. Just be more self-aware, because I think that you blinded yourself. According to this, it seems like you really blinded yourself into thinking that you were self-aware when in fact you cornered yourself into some sort of rigid belief system. And so if you want to answer your calling, which is to pursue more connections with people, then that's kind of your choice, right? The future is unknown because it's you determine that. So you can go either way, really. So that is what I see, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow with my pick a card reading. Bye.